Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box, where today it's all about Tommy James and the Shondells. Now, James and the Shondells were incredibly successful in their day, hit single after hit single, much beloved, and yet today you hear about them less than other bands from that era that were maybe equally or even less successful. And it got me thinking about why. And this is the implicit corruption in human nature. Now, there's two meta forms of corruption, if you will. There's the corruption of the conspirator, the person who arranges and orchestrates something that is unethical or that is immoral. And then there's the natural corruption that arises without anyone planning for it or even thinking about it. It's that, oh, you know me, I know you, this person knows this other person, and a sort of a club, a clique, a cult, if you will, forms. A circle of people form who, for reasons of selfishness or reasons of ease, end up scratching each other's back in business and elsewhere. And this goes a long way towards explaining why some things in this age of mass communication become well known and beloved and others do not. I really resent the people who think that everything that becomes popular, whether it was in the analog age of record sales and TV shows or the digital age of virality, that, oh, it's all organic. No, a lot of things become popular because they're pushed. And if something is in your face constantly, you at least have the opportunity to decide whether you like or dislike it. If no one pushes it in your face, it might be your favorite thing ever, but you'll never have an opportunity to know that, to learn that, because it's been suppressed. Because whoever created the suppressed piece of content doesn't go to the right school, doesn't golf with the same person, doesn't live in the same area, doesn't belong to the same religion, doesn't belong to the same race, doesn't belong to the same secret societies, doesn't belong to the same walk of life. And that really is a shame. Now, I don't know if any of that in particular applies to this band, but it just got me thinking about how the natural corruption of proximity, with all of these metrics that are in one way or another to do with proximity of one kind or another, how that form of corruption is actually more all pervasive than the sort of quintessential cartoonish corruption of, bit of payola under the table. Anyway, that long preamble aside, Tommy James and the Shondells were one of my absolute favorite bands because when it comes to writing really uniquely memorable songs, they were really, really, in many ways, unsurpassed. I mean, they're sort of the crowning achievement was 1969's Crimson and Clover, which was a long, sort of vamped out psychedelic single, but nevertheless one that was sing-alongable, if you will, which is always something that helps record sales, and really, really well produced. Mony Mony was, of course, one of the great sort of danceable rock hits of the day. Crystal Blue Persuasion, almost like a psychedelic song with a jazzy tinge, really, really great. Sweet Cherry Wine, a simple but again really groovy song. I Think We're Alone Now, sort of a obvious teenage love song. One of their earlier songs, Hanky Panky, another one of those danceable rock and rollers. And again, really, really fun music. That's one of the things about this band. Everything they did was really fun. And I mean, even Tommy James, when the Shondells ended, Dragging the Line, a solo hit of his, it really maintained that same essence of fun, danceable, somewhat laid back, but at the same time with a groove. You could almost see this Midwest band, this Michigan band, as a kind of a 60s version of what Grand Funk Railroad became at the very end of the 60s, but more prominent in the 70s. This is foot stomping music, but with a bit of psychedelia and ever so slightly jazzy harmonies thrown in. But all of their singles were really good. And if we were really being honest about what music at that time in the mid to late 60s was popular, we'd be talking a lot about Tommy James and the Shondells. But again, they obviously were in the right place at the right time for the talent, the genuine talent, to be recognized and given a contract. But maybe today, the people that know each other and shake hands and golf together and all that, who have an interest in promoting or demoting music from that era, they're not so much looking at Tommy James and the Shondells, which is a shame because you should be listening to them for the simple, non corrupt reason that the music is really good. That's what I think. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.